Good morning, you're watching Doordarshan News and this is the news for Hearing Impaired. I am Nancy Kohli and with me is Smriti Nagpal. Let's begin with the headlines. Heavy polling recorded in assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. The counting of votes on the 19th May as the polling ends in 5 states including Assam and West Bengal. Tamil Nadu records over 70% voting while Kerala registers 71% polling. Puducherry records 84.11% voting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to meet Chief Ministers of Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh today to discuss the drought condition in the states. Reviews drought and water scarcity situation in Gujarat at a high-level meeting with Chief Minister Anandiben Patel. Minister of Women and Child Development Menaka Sanjay Gandhi scheduled to release the draft of National Policy for Women 2016, the policy being revised for the first time since 2001. Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley holds an all-party meeting on the National Eligibility Entrance Test. All political parties in favour of the entrance test, says Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda. Also meets state health ministers on the issue. Asserts issues related to regional languages, syllabus and ongoing state exams to be taken care of. And Delhi High Court to hear wrestler Sushil Kumar's plea today seeking trial between him and Narsingh Yadav in the 74-kilogram category to decide who will represent India at the Rio Olympics. And now the news in detail. Monday saw brisk polling in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry as voters braved the heat in some places and heavy rains in others to cast their franchise. Tamil Nadu recorded over 70% voting. The polling took place in 232 of the 234 assembly constituencies in Tamil Nadu. The polling was deferred to 23rd May in two constituencies, Thanjavur and Arvakuruchi. A decision taken after 4.77 lakh rupees was seized by the Election Commission officials from a house in Arvakuruchi. The Election Commission spared no effort in stopping the misuse of money and liquor in the state. On polling day, more than 25,000 poll stations had web streaming and elaborate arrangements were made to encourage voting across all age groups. Almost all top political leaders were seen exercising their right to vote. The list includes Chief Minister incumbent and AIADMK Supremo J. Lalita, DMK Chief Karunanidhi, son Stalin and former Union Minister P. Chidambaram. Puducherry too saw a heavy polling. The Union Territory recorded 84.11% voting. Over 9.41 lakh voters exercised their franchise during the assembly polls in 930 polling booths across the Union Territory. 344 candidates are in the fray in 30 constituencies of the Union Territory of Puducherry. 148 constituencies were declared sensitive. Kerala also witnessed brisk polling for 140-member assembly with the overall poll percentage crossing the 71%. For over 2.61 lakh voters of the state, the Election Commission had put in place tight security arrangements with over 50,000 security personnel deployed to instill a sense of security amongst voters. People of the state took part in the election enthusiastically and by the end of the election drill, the fate of 1,203 candidates got sealed in the electronic voting machines. The voting was by and large peaceful and no major reports of violence came in from anywhere. Many NRIs also participated in the electoral process. Most of them are from northern Kerala. The exit polls for the 4 states and 1 union territory for which elections concluded yesterday showed the DMK Congress alliance heading to victory in Tamil Nadu. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee set for a repeat victory in that state, a left-front government in Kerala and a historic win for the NDA in Assam. While the Congress looks set to form a government in the Union Territory of Puducherry. The voter turnout in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry was less than the last assembly elections in 2011, according to the Election Commission. On to some other news now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi continued his series of meetings with the chief ministers of the drought-affected states. The Prime Minister will hold meetings with the chief ministers of Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh today. Yesterday, he met Gujarat Chief Minister Anandiben Patel. Prime Minister Modi highlighted the need to augment piped water supply instead of transporting water by tankers and on various water conservation methods. The Prime Minister also emphasized on the need for value addition in agriculture via cultivation of cash crops and discussed the measures to boost fishery, beekeeping, pearl culture and seaweed farming. Elaborating on the state's efforts for water conservation, recharge and creation of water bodies, Gujarat Chief Minister told the Prime Minister that Gujarat has made significant progress in micro-irrigation with 100% coverage of drip or sprinkler irrigation being achieved in 3,789 villages. Piped water supply is being provided to 77% of households in the state. Despite 2 successive years of drought, the crop production in the state has been estimated at 95% of the normal. The Women and Child Development Ministry under Maneka Gandhi has revised the national policy for women for the first time since 2001. The policy is likely to address issues related to widows and universal health benefits for all women apart from dealing with the issues of single women. The draft policy will be made public today by Union Minister Maneka Gandhi. The policy will act as a roadmap over the next 15-20 years for dealing with women's issues, ranging from discrimination against women to the expectations of the new emerging aspirational woman. There has been staggering growth in this sector with a 40% increase in the population of single women in India between 2001 and 2011. The government policy is expected to prepare for this growth by empowering single women through skill development and economic incentives. The policy will look into the entire continuum. It will be placed for public consultation with all stakeholders, including NGOs, civil societies, among others. Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley yesterday held an all-party meeting to discuss the National Eligibility Entrance Test. The meeting was attended by the Congress, the Biju Janata Dal, the People's Democratic Party, the Left and the INLD. After the meeting, Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda said that all political parties are in favor of holding the entrance test, but a few issues need to be taken care of. The minister also met the health ministers from various states to hear their views on issues related to the entrance test. He said that most of the states are in favor of the entrance test in principle. However, some states have expressed logistic issues that are impeding its implementation, and therefore they have desired for some more time. The law and order situation in Bihar is a matter of concern, especially for the opposition leaders in the state. LJP chief and Union Minister Ramvilas Paswan has asked for the imposition of the president's rule in the state. The state government has recommended a CBI probe into the death of the Sivan journalist Rajdev Ranjan. In the other case of road rage killing of Aditya Sachdev, a relative of main accused Rocky Yadav surrendered in a court in Gaya on Monday morning. Meanwhile, Yadav's mother and MLC Manorama Devi, who is still on the run, could not get a relief, and the court will hear her anticipatory bail plea on the 19th of May now. Bihar's crime graph has seen a rise ever since Nitish Kumar-led government took over in the state, having RJD as its major ally. It seems the state is paying a heavy price for the JDU-RJD alliance. Police have arrested 2 persons in connection with the murder of journalist Itradev Yadav in Jharkhand on the 12th of May. Chhatra Superintendent of Police Anjani Kumar Jha said that 2 persons involved in the killing of Yadav have been arrested and the bike used in the murder has also been recovered. Akhilesh Pratap Singh alias Indradev Yadav worked for a private TV channel as a reporter and was shot dead by unknown assailants in Deoria on the night of 12th of May. Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has expressed confidence that the GST bill will be passed soon. According to him, the main hurdle in the way was the Congress, while its allies in the UPA and many chief ministers of UPA ruled states were themselves in favor of the bill's passage. Talking on the Vijay Mallya issue, the minister said that the investigating agencies are making every effort to bring back the former liquor baron to face money laundering charges in the country, adding that the government of India will initiate the extradition process since Britain had recently declined New Delhi's request to deport the businessman. Vijay Mallya also faces a loan default charge of 9,400 crore rupees to his now defunct Kingfisher Airlines by a consortium of banks. The Delhi High Court will today hear wrestler Sushil Kumar's plea-seeking trial between him and Narsingh Yadav in the 74-kilogram category to decide who will represent India at the Rio Olympics. Kumar had earlier asked the Wrestling Federation of India to conduct a trial between him and Narsingh Yadav. He suffered a setback as Sports Minister Sarbanand Sonowal ruled out intervention in the selection battle for the Rio Olympics, saying that the matter is for the Wrestling Federation of India to decide. For Narsingh, the next few days will be full of turmoil as the officials are expected to sit down to decide the name of the final contestants next week. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks for being with us.